Hi, Virgo. Oh, hey, Empress popping out there for you. Let's see what we get. Virgo, we're going to try a slightly different approach to this reading. I want to kind of lay out the cards in a Celtic cross and be a little bit more academic about it at first, but then we'll go into discussing what we see from there. All right, Virgo, this is for the period of the Capricorn new moon. Virgo, what's going on? The week of Capricorn new moon in 2021. Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Let's see what we get. I might have to straighten out my seating position. There we go. That's better. Virgo. Virgo, we start with the Page of Wands as your signifying energy. It's crossed by the Fool card. Okay, really quick. Page of Wands talks about messages, passionate messages of adventure, inspiration, perhaps some youthful energy, page level energy, perhaps something in the page stage of inspiration, some idea that's kind of in its nascence, but could be representative of a person, a younger person, or somebody with a vital and youthful energy that comes through with a passionate offer, something exciting. We've got the Fool crossing, and the Fool talks about new beginnings, leaps of faith, going forth with wild and reckless abandon, being protected by spirit and by universe in the meantime, understanding that there are challenges ahead of you, but sort of not heeding them at a given moment, because again you're taking a leap of faith. Newborn energy on the in this world, just a general feeling of newness and excitement. Very youthful. So you're coming forward in a very youthful and vibrant way, very sunny, right away, Virgo. Something's popping. Let's see what's at the root of you. The root of you is the, that's a jump right out. We would. It's the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is at the root of you. This is a fast-moving energy of quick messages coming forward. Somebody making, what am I trying to say? It's an offer of sorts, but it's communication that's very pointed. It may be hastily delivered. This is at the root of you, so it's a lot of hasty energy. What crowns you is the King of Pentacles. This is very fatherly energy. It's earth energy. You're represented in this card. It's nurturing. It's the most exalted aspect of the material world. So, financially secure, supported, feeling supported. Yeah, very nurturing and fatherly. In your recent past is the Seven of Pentacles. Sorry, Eight of Pentacles. I always get these. Sorry, and it's card of hard work. It's craftsmanship, skill. It's tinkering, but in the sense of just repetitive work towards excellence. It's steady work. It's nose to the grindstone. It's a sense of reliability and responsibility, but certainly it's a card of working on it. But work. In your future, in your near future, we have the King of Cups. King of Cups, Father of Cups is the most exalted aspect of his suit of water, which deals with emotions, talks about water signs. It's also a very fatherly energy in the very emotionally available and supportive way. He sits in choppy waters, but he's very serene among them, such as his maturity in the realm of emotions. Like, he can deal with a lot of stuff around him, a lot of people falling apart, and yet he's very so exalted and strong in his emotional access and depth of understanding that he sits serenely, quietly, and completely unmoved. He has the ability to nurture, though. He's not as soft and mushy-gushy as the Queen of Cups, but again, it's that sort of fatherly, nurturing energy. We've got a lot of that coming up. Because the King of Pentacles is not devoid of access to emotion necessarily. He's very, wrapped in his in this garden growth, which implies being well watered. So there's this level of creativity there too. You are in the energy of the Two of Swords, which is not having all the information and perhaps being blocked off from knowing which way to go at a crossroads. There's choppy waters here too, so there's we've got double choppy waters energy being represented, but we've got a sense of not knowing what to choose. If this talks about a decision having to be made, so, and because the person is blindfolded on this card, it's being blocked off from the from having all the information. The moon is in the background. That's significant of also secrets, or the idea of not having all the information, because the moon lights up only some things but leaves most things in shadow. In your environment is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Ten of Pentacles is a legacy card. It means, wealth and stability, and that's sort of an extension of the King of Pentacles energy. In the reverse, it's, perhaps there's a worry about that, the establishment of that, or the longevity of your wealth and your resources, I want to say. It's in your environment, so it's sort of external forces that have to do with your current energy and situation. So you've got the Knight of Cups as your hopes and fears. Knight of Cups is a messenger or an offer of love and creativity, and so having offers of of such and nature may be a part of what's on your mind right now, and what you're hoping and fearing. For my creatives out there, they might be talking about job offers, creative job offers. Ultimately, the Three of Wands is your outcome. It came out with the Knight of Wands. I'm not going to take both cards, but the Knight of Wands is, we're still in the Wand suit, so it talks about passion, and it talks about a passionate offer as well. So, that also backs up the Knight of Cups, I think. And knights bring messengers in, so you're going to be hearing news, in your outcome that has to do with your outcome as well. So let's talk about this. Oh, so the Three of Wands, just to finish that thought, is a card of expansion. It's really, as outcomes go, I think that's a really great way to end a spread. And so let's talk about this. So you start out with this really youthful, bright, vibrant energy with the Page of Wands and the Fool. And it tells me that, what you're dealing with here is an idea, like a really big idea, like something that you're creating, and wanting to move forward on. Or for some of you, if it has to do with relationships, it's you're really going for it. You're really taking a leap of faith on something because it really makes you feel excited, and there's a sense of adventure around it. But for a lot of you, it's going to talk about the that you're embarking on something that makes you feel sort of refreshed, renewed, and it's a really brand new big idea, again, that's adventurous to you, and then it makes you feel really excited. At the root, though, is this like sense of like hastiness and a lot of like frenetic like conversations and communication going back and forth, and it's, you know, it's a bit disorganized perhaps, you know, for some of you, but also, you know, another way, it's that it's not well thought out, so it can come out as jarring. And like maybe, you know, sometimes when you get to a certain, if you're really excited about something, you know, that's how some of the ideation can come forward, where there's not a lot of organized thought. You're just like, and then there's this, and then there's that, you know, and there's sort of that youthful energy of just like, you can't quite get out what's on your mind, but it's a really great idea and it's so crazy good. I can't wait till I can tell you all of it. So it's that sort of energy perhaps. But, you know, the Knight of Swords has to do with communication coming in fast, and so perhaps there's a bit of news that some of you are hearing that that mobilizes some of this. So yeah, however that resonates with you guys, it'll be a little different for everybody, of course. But what's crowning you again is this sort of fatherly energy of the King of Pentacles. Again, it's earth energy, and there's a sense of being really supported and nurtured, both creatively speaking and with resources. So, you know, it's and that helps you. Sorry. It helps you be able to move forward with some level of confidence, even, you know, with this big idea, because you know that you have support. I think it's as simple as that. And you know, and I think that, you know, for some of you, it's that, you know, that this is where you're heading. You're becoming more exalted in terms of your creativity. Like, you've got this really youthful energy to begin with, but you know that what you're aiming for is this most exalted representation of creativity, creation, and security. Sort of like the double trouble, like where you're just, you know, the best at being creative, and, you know, and seeing your ideas through to the material world, hence the pentacles, and also your ability to gain wealth. In your recent past, you're just working really hard. You're just working really hard, and it's like workaday work, and it's like, but it's necessary, and of course that's where you're coming from. You're supporting this idea. And then where you're going to in your very near future is the King of Cups. So it's, you know, what happens out of this as you aim for this, you which is to say, like, you know, I just want to create this thing. I want to bring it into the 3D. I want to make it real, and I want to earn money while doing it. And what you get out of it is it's real emotional fulfillment to the level of King of Cups. He's the most exalted aspect of his element. And again, we talked about the King of Cups being really serene and like just completely, you know, emotionally held together in spite of the choppy waters around him, all of the emotional upset that might occur around him. And so there's a real sense of maturity that's gained out of this process, you know, and maybe it sort of comes up as a byproduct, but it's like that's where you're really strengthening first. It's in this emotional space. And for others of you, it's going to represent yet another like fatherly influence, and, you know, perhaps where you lean on this person financially in the beginning, you know, and you get the support that way. There's a point where in the near future you can lean on them emotionally as well. And, you know, and indeed when we move through life in pursuit of our dreams and goals and, you know, relationships, whatever it is, every now and then we do need that support to bolster us through it, and bolster us through the choppy waters. Yeah, but either way, I think it's really beautiful. It's going to be a little different for everybody. But where you are, again, is this decision, this fork in the road, and the sense of not having enough information to know which way to go. So we get a little rocky road here, I think, you know, and it's okay, because by all evidence you get through it. And but what I want to say is that, you know, what the moon in the background of the Two of Swords is talks about the moon only lighting up part of the way, and because so much is left in shadow, that makes us scared to be able to move forward based on what we don't know. But the moon also lights up some of the way, and I think the advice is to look at what's lit up, and with your sharp intellect, which is this sword's energy speaks to, you can extrapolate from what is lit, what is illuminated, what you do know, and really focus on that to help see you through any indecision, rather than what's kept in shadow. And then when your external energy is the sense that that there's a scarcity mindset, some or the sense that there's a threat to legacy wealth, or a delay. Potentially for some of you, it'll be, externally there's a delay in getting to this, to seeing things through in the material world. Now for some of you, that's going to mean finances and resources in that sense, and others of you it's going to mean just like the completion of a project, or there might be delay in if you have money coming towards you that's supposed to fund something going forward. It's going to be that sort of external issue, but it's an external issue. Others of you, there might be a job that you're working at that isn't, as it's not your fault, but the job might not be, like the business might not be doing well, because last year was tough for everybody. So it's external stuff. It's largely out of her control, but it contributes to kind of like the choices that you have to make. It's a part of what becomes illuminated for you in order to see how you go forward. Sometimes if this decision is, do I, should I stay or should I go at a job, that sort of thing. Well, if you know that the job is, that the business isn't doing too well and it might fold or something, well, maybe you jump ship ahead of time, or maybe you whatever it is you do. I'm not an advisor a certified or credentialed advisor in any of that. Don't take my advice, but just for example, like it might help you understand personally which direction will be best for you, because again, you have a little bit of illumination. So in the external forces position, you've got a little bit of delayed energy in the material realm. It's a 10. It's also a completion of a cycle. So so it might be some resource cycle is coming to an end. There's an end of a legacy, an end of an era. Might be a sense of an end of an era for some of you. Something along these lines. In your hopes and fears, you have the Knight of Cups, so you're waiting for an offer, or hoping for an offer of love and creativity, or both, or one of the, or creativity and love, or something that that makes you feel emotionally fulfilled anyway. So for some of you, it will be a relationship that you're hoping for or afraid of, maybe even. But for others of you, it'll just be something that brings you a lot of emotional fulfillment. And I don't think you need to worry, because that's what you get here in your. It's already on the table that you get that. You get that. So however, or whenever the material support element of that manifests, whatever happens, what's happening right now during this immediate period is like a real strong feeling of emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. And then in your outcome, you get the Three of Wands, which is expansion. So you're going out in the world, you're expanding past your boundaries. The Three of Wands is just that, you're looking past, beyond what you know, beyond what's been settled, beyond what has, had established structure applied to it. You're looking past the boundary, and you and this is a period of again, like you're carrying forward this excitement and this sense of adventure, and that's where you begin, and that's where this reading ends up too. So you're pushing past a boundary, and And that's what this whole cycle is about. Let's get some more clarification on the Three of Wands, and get a little bit more definition out of what that adventure and that expansion is. Oh, well, I'm gonna take you too, but I've done it. I wanted to come out, but it's in the reverse, which is great. Okay, so that's your card. Okay, so the Three of Wands is expansion, and then you get the Ace of Pentacles, you get the Six of Swords in the reverse. Taurus just got this. And then the Hermit in reverse. Hermit is your card, Virgo energy. But you also got, this is sort of like an afterthought, the Three of Swords in reverse, and I'll talk about that in a second. And my foot is asleep, beg your pardon. So what we get in your result is the Ace of Pentacles is an offer. It's an offer, a new beginning in material. It's often seen as a job offer. So perhaps this expansion is a material job offer for some of you. For others of you, it's a project offer. For some of you, it's a relationship that, somebody comes up and says, let's do this, get in the car kind of thing. It's a real material offer. And then you have the return from something that you'd previously walked away from with the Six of Swords. Six of Swords energy talks about moving on away from choppy waters to peace, to find peace. But when it's in the reverse, it's sort of like a return in order to complete some unfinished business, perhaps, or just like a coming back from something that you previously had to walk away from. And maybe this job offer is along those lines, or something that you just didn't take once before, but now you're taking it because it comes up again. The Hermit is again, it's Virgo. It's also the Sage card, and it talks about going deep within and meditating and pulling from inner wisdom. And in the reverse, it talks about the need to come out of the hermit phase, and re-engage in the world, perhaps. It also talks about inner wisdom, deep inner guidance, but the Hermit is that sort of like either way you go. But so, truly, whatever you are coming back to that you previously walked away from, I think it took a lot of reconsideration, and you're ready to engage in it now. And it's a good thing because the offer is back on the table. So you've got this, Ace of Pentacles that talks about the offer being back on the table. And, everything's in divine timing, because now it's something that helps you to expand and push back your boundary. And, look, you can't push back the boundary if you're not there yet. So maybe when this offer came up in the, before, you weren't ready to take it because you weren't at the boundary yet. And now you're there and you can go. You got this Three of Swords in reverse. Three of Swords in reverse is heartbreak, but Three of Swords upright is heartbreak, but in reverse it's the end of heartbreak, So I think that, if, although it doesn't show up here, we don't know what went beyond. Some aspect of this journey, whether it be the level of emotional satisfaction and support that you receive after having made this, been able to make this decision, or the idea that you're supported in a really material sense as well, or that you get this offer comes back to you, this offer that you weren't able to take in the past comes back to you and allows you to, to take it and move forward and expand. That ends some deep heartbreak that went before, sometime that's not on the table. There was heartbreak. It just popped out. It wanted to come out. and there it is. And it's the end of something that perhaps you've been holding on to for a long time. And so whatever's happening in this week where we have the new moon in Capricorn, that's sort of some of the energy that you can look forward to, Virgo. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for spending your time and energy with me. If you liked this, please do hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if this resonates, and I hope to see you at the next one. Feel free to comment below too. Anyway, until the next time, I'm wishing you my love and light. Thanks.